What is up, y'all? How we doing? Hope you're doing well. Um, Hope you just did that intention meditation, switch things up, started off slow, got into some breath work, and then came back to mantra and back to the intention. And yeah, I hope that's going well. Um, it's very simple thing that you can bring your awareness back to at any point during the day, your intention, your mantra, your breathing. Um, yeah, take little breaks, momentum breaks. I particularly recommend as prevention, but of course you can use it in moments of stress and anxiety as well. So, but speaking of stress and anxiety, one thing I wanted to hit on was the food that we are eating out here. We've talked about the connection and the cognitive dissonance that people have with how they feel and what they are putting into their body. And, I've heard, well, first of all, let's talk about eggs, right? Eggs are really great for you. They're a superfood. I mean, eggs are amazing. But the eggs that we're getting, especially in the US, and what they're putting the animals through in order for us to get them, it shows it's interesting. There's a direct correlation definitely between the anxiety that our food has been was feeling before it was killed and the anxiety that we're feeling from eating that food. And you know oh, many years ago when I was very young, probably I was probably about 12, maybe 11, 12. I saw a video of what they're doing to these animals. And I love animals. I'm not a big like cow chicken person. Never really been around them, so I'm not too emotionally invested in them. But the heinous activity and the just crimes committed against these animals is just beyond redemption. I understand that it's their jobs. Um, but they are the modern day executioners. And what they're doing to these animals, it's not about the killing the animal and eating it. It's not about that at all. What it's about is the way that they torture the animals in order for the animals to create adrenaline to make them taste better. That's the problem. So, I mean, they keep the animals, cows and chickens, let's say, they keep them stored up, cooped up, and they aren't able to free range like animals should. Especially animals, if we're going to eat them, they should be as healthy as possible. There's no way that they're healthy as possible, being in a dark barn and just waiting to get tortured and killed. And by the way, animals aren't stupid. They know they can smell and see their, their friends and their family being tortured and executed, and they know that there's a high likelihood that they're next, and they produce anxious hormones and their adrenaline spikes, and that's what makes the meat tastier. And what we're eating just obviously directly affects us, and there's not that many regulations as to the health of the animal that we're eating, right? So like a lot of these eggs, if you're getting eggs at the store, $2.99, a lot of these chickens are sick. There's mass amount of chickens. There's so many chickens in one cage that they can't even turn around. Like that's not good. That's just bad. That's just come on. And there will be chickens that are sick. There will be chickens that have tumors, chickens, that have cancer, all types of stuff. They still take their eggs and they still feed them to you. So there's not that many regulations on that type of thing. And, they say a lot of these labels are completely false. If they say like free range, part of what that could mean is that you have all these chickens and they're all, cooped up. And if you open the barn door and you keep it open for 10 seconds, then that counts as free range. So, they could have gone out, but they don't. So they just close it and that's it. Like now you can put a stamp on the food and say that it's free range chickens and you can mark up the price. Now, is that to say that, that's what's always going on? Definitely not. But is it happening? 100%. So, I mean, everywhere you turn in our society, there's bullshit. They're behind the curtain of Oz. There's nothing back there. There's just people being guided by money and greed, and definitely not caring about anyone else. And it's what, let's say it's not even their responsibility to, right? It's only our responsibility to care for ourselves, care for our families, care for the people that we care about, and do our best to avoid poisoning ourselves, because poison is all around us. And they say pick your poison. There's lots of poisons to choose from right now. So that's the deal with most eggs currently that we have access to. Now, if you have eggs and if you have a chicken, you have your own farm or you have access to someone's farm, I mean, then eggs are one of the best things that you can have. 21 eggs is like a low dose of steroids. So, a lot of these bodybuilders would eat 21 eggs a day. And that's great, so good and healthy for you. As far as the state goes, right? Cows are not the definition of vitality. So, bison, elk, those would be better things for us to eat in terms of we're going to get the energy from what we ate. And, cows aren't, running around with any type of speed or vigor or anything like that. So, yeah, they're not the best choice for sure. If we go to pigs, if we go to hot dogs and lots of sausage, what they're made out of is like sometimes it's the worst pig, the least healthy pig, and then it's literally how they used to make them. I'm not sure if they still do, but literally it's the worst pieces of the meat that end up just falling on the floor that you don't want for anything else, gets swept up into a pile, and boom, that gets turned into a hot dog. So that's disgusting. And we all know that hot dogs are terrible for you. And it's a huge part of the American diet. And man, I haven't had a hot dog in many years. And I think there's no question as to why my body was failing me, why my mind was failing me, why I was having chronic migraines as a young person. I mean, I used to eat hot dogs a lot. I used to eat pizza a lot. I used to eat chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, chicken parm. I was on the New York diet, and there was not a fruit or vegetable to be seen. Now, fruit and vegetables have their own problems with pesticides and preservatives and blah, blah, blah. But, I definitely would have done a lot better uh, with the diet I have now versus what I had growing up. And again, cognitive dissonance. I had no real correlation between what I ate determined how I feel as a young person. And this, I mean, this is not talked about in New York. What do they serve for lunch? They serve chicken fingers and French fries and all kinds of crap, sugary drinks and sugary snacks. And you just never really question it, right? People only really question it when they start gaining weight or things of that particular nature, or they start having serious health issues. And even then, the most likely you're just gonna, get a pill prescribed to you and just take a pill and that's it, and not even make any other changes. So gotta look out for yourself because no one else is gonna do it for you. You gotta do the research, and doing the research, there's you can find evidence to support anything you look up these days. So you got to really know what you're doing, find trusted sources, and don't be naive, and and cross reference your sources to find the middle ground in the Venn diagram. And yeah, I hope that's helpful, maybe eye opening. I hope it's not eye opening. I hope you kind of already know this stuff, but yeah, I leave you with that. And the best way that you can really combat it is by doing these breath works and meditation, getting your body to homeostasis and regulating your hormones as often as possible. So thank you for joining. Peace.